Okay, for the next one, the last one I'm going to do from section I wanted to actually do one that didn't involve a conditional conclusion like my last one did. And as a matter of fact, the practice problems number 2 and 3 also have conditional conclusions. But I wanted to show you one where I would be working with indirect proof. So I'm going to do the fourth problem now in this set. The conclusion here, line 1, again, no premise is given to me. The conclusion I'm supposed to reach is A or not A. All right. So how do I start? Well, again, I have to introduce an assumption so I can get going here. I'm not going to do a conditional proof because there's no conditional here. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an indirect proof. I'm going to assume this is false and show that leads to a contradiction. So line 2 starts my indirect proof. I want to assume it's not the case that A or not A. Okay, that is the assumption for indirect proof. Well, how can I get a contradiction of this? Well, it looks perfectly set up for De Morgan's if you just notice you have the not outside the parentheses and the or inside. So if I do apply De Morgan's to this, I'll get not A and not A. All right? When you depending on which direction you go, in this case, instead of pulling the negation out to put these in parentheses, like we do sometimes in De Morgan's, in this case, I'm you might think of sort of distributing the negation through. And again, what happens is I get not that, the disjunction changes to a conjunction in this case, and then not A. Okay, that's just going to be from line 2 from De Morgan's. All right. And of course, if you'll notice, this is a contradiction. It says that not A is true, and it says that not A is false. So it's a contradiction, which means I'm now actually done with my indirect proof. Right? I now know that if I assume that I assume not this, I get a contradiction. So it must be that this is false. If you'll remember again with indirect proof, though, I have to, when I come out here to write the conclusion I'm drawing, I have to put a negation in front of that. Right? Because what I've learned is that not that. So not A or not A. My tilde is getting a little flattened out there, but that is from lines 2 through 3, indirect proof. Indirect proofs don't usually go that quickly, but 2 through 3. And now I need to get rid of this not just so it'll match the conclusion I'm looking for, but that's just double negation. So A or not A from line 4 through double negation. Right? And that's the whole proof. Again, no premise, no conditional, so I moved to do an indirect proof, made my assumption, and just a few lines later, we were done. So again, might look intimidating at first, but once you pick up on that trick that you have to make the assumption to get the ball rolling, and you have pretty good understanding of when to use conditional proof and when to use indirect proof, sometimes these can actually end up being very simple problems. Hope that helps.